Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. I'm getting ready to go live on Blog Talk in less than 30 seconds, y'all. So take this opportunity to share this of influence, if you would. Share this in your circle of influence. But y'all, come on in. It's Monday. It's Monday. We get to do it again, y'all. We get to do it again. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. Going live. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on. Yeah. Welcome. I do not own the rights to the music playing in the background. That is my friend, Dr. Pastor Tamala Lucas. She is right here on social media. I have the rights to play this intro. She created it just for me. So go over and check her out. And we here to show the world the talent that we have. Is here to change your world. We're walking in purpose. Know that you didn't get dropped out of the sky. You got a purpose. And that's me. Walking with purpose. Showing the world all that we have. God gave it to us. And we don't want to bury it. So we are here to show the world we're walking in purpose. Yeah. We're walking in purpose. Yeah. Come on in. Yeah, that's me, y'all. That's me. Well, good morning. And I want to welcome you guys to another Monday morning motivation power with the queen. I am the queen of collaboration, your certified life coach and self-publishing coach, here to let you know that you didn't get dropped out of the sky, that you were strategically placed here, that you got a purpose. So know that you have purpose on this morning. If you're tuning in live or if you're hearing the replay, know that it is not by chance. It is not accident. It was all preordained. So you for tuning in on today. Those that are tuned in on Blog Talk Radio, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Fortunately, we're not able to tune in on Instagram today because I have a very special guest that's going to be stopping by and sharing with us on today. But let me go ahead and for those that do not know who I am, let me introduce myself really quick. Okay, so I am affectionately known as the queen of collaboration around these social media streets. I love to collaborate. I love to bring people together. I want everybody to know that they have purpose, that they did not get dropped out of the sky. This month of April, we are bringing awareness to poets as well as bringing awareness to mental health because our mental health does matter. So y'all know I am in the midst of creating a poetry anthology that's going to be focused on mental health. It's going to drop at the end of this month. Also, have a couple of things that I really want y'all to participate in. Y'all have the opportunity to really show your support, show your love. For everybody that say they love the queen, this is your opportunity to truly show me that you love me by supporting the things that I do. So I have a couple of things that I need you guys to do for me. So, of course, y'all know I was nominated for International Hall of Fame Broadcasting Class of 2023. The voting process is going to start showing you guys to make sure that you are following me so that when the voting process starts, I'm going to need you guys to participate. I need you guys to show your support for me and the things that I do across all of my platforms. But I was nominated over on the WBNN. For those that really truly follow me know that my show airs every 4 weeks on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over there on Ngozi Multimedia LLC. Good morning, Patrice. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. But again, there is 3 nominations that came down from Charlotte, North Carolina. The Crew Podcast. Y'all know I am one of the founding partners behind the Crew Podcast. So we were nominated for New Internet Show of the Year. Y'all can go over and cast your vote, right? Go over to smgospelawards.com/voting. I'm going to make sure that I post that link, but you can go over to smgospelawards.com/voting. Cast your vote for the Crew Podcast. You can also cast your vote for HTA Enterprise, which is our marketing company that comprises of myself, Dr. Tamala, and Hezekiah Morris. So y'all can vote for us on the HTA Enterprise and the Crew Podcast. Y'all can also vote for Hezekiah Morris for Author of the Year. So y'all have an opportunity to really support the Crew Podcast and show us how much you love us. And you can support the queen. Show me how much you love me. Y'all all say you love me, so you can show me how you love me. And it won't cost you a thing. It will just cost you a little time and just the punch of a button, twinkling of your fingers, but it won't cost you 1 red cent. I mean, who don't like to do something for free? I love sharing love when it's free, when it don't cost me nothing. It make me want to share a little more. So I want y'all to go out here, show us some love, support the things that we're doing so that we can continue to do the things that we're doing. So with that being said, y'all, I have a very special guest that's stopping by today. Going to be sharing. Y'all know I have a lot on my plate, and y'all know that I do a lot, so I'm always all over the place. But there are a lot of things that are near and dear to me. And one thing is, y'all know that I love to be a platform where individuals can share their voice and allow their voices to be heard. Because for too long, people have silenced us. They have gave out the narrative that they wanted to give out about us, and they keep stuff silent. So I give a shout out to all of my fellow Black people that are in media, because Black media matters, because they have been telling our narrative and telling our for a long time. Now we have the opportunity to do that. So hats off to all the podcasters, all the radio hosts, all the TV personalities, all those that are being a voice for our brown community. Thank you for standing up and being that voice. Well, y'all, I'm gonna move out the way really quick. I have someone that stopped by the studio to share with me on today. Um, this person has become near and dear to my heart. Um, I had the opportunity to interview this person, and his story captured my heart. All the time we hear of stories and we hear things, but when you can physically talk to somebody and hear their story and hear the things that they are enduring, it makes it a little different. So this one kind of hit my heart. And when they say, when you see something, do something about it. Well, I have this slogan right now that we are the change that we want to see, that we desire to see in this world. We are that change. I can no longer sit quietly. So I am providing a platform for those that want to be heard. So today I have um, Mr. Cornell Drummer. He's in the building and he's going to be sharing with us on today. Mr. Cornell, how are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing great, Miss Angela. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing great. I can't complain. I thank God for being on this side of the living. I got another chance. Anytime I get another chance to get it right, another chance to impact lives, I count it a joy and a privilege. So definitely, I'm honored to be here on today. If you would please
Okay.
share with the listeners just a little bit about who you are, and then we're going to jump right into your story.
Okay, well, my name is Mr. Cornell Drummer, and I'm a Texas prison inmate in Texas in John B. County unit. I've been here for like 32 years, and since then, I've been trying my best to try to, be a voice for the Texas prison inmates down here in Texas. And thank you for having me on, Miss Angela.
So I have a couple of questions because a lot of people they wonder how it can somebody be wrongfully or overly incarcerated. Can you please give some light on your story and what this journey? I really want people to understand what this journey has been like for you and shed some light on your story so that more people can hear about it. And maybe it would prompt somebody to want to share because I have individuals that tune in from Texas and from all over the world. And maybe it will touch somebody's heart and make them want to share, make them want to reach out and see what they can do. So if you would please share your story.
Okay, ma'am. Well, in 1992, I was accused of a crime. Well, in 1990, I was accused of a crime of murder. And being accused of the crime of the murder, I was accused under the Texas law parties. And what had happened was that after being accused, little did I know, homicide detectives had taken and fabricated and falsified all of the documents to have me placed as a party to the offense of the murder. Well, when I went to court, I was represented by a former P.O.W.E.R County Assistant District Attorney who placed me between an all-white jury trial, and from there, the jury found me guilty for the offense of murder. But like I say, little did I know all of the documents in my case and all of the evidence in my case was falsified and fabricated it to make me this individual party to the murder. And since this time, I have done a lot of research and study and come to find out that this is an operation. This is just not no one case individual situation. And that here in the state of Texas, a lot of Texas prison inmates down here are suffering from the same operation. And our Texas legislators and representatives are not doing enough to try to, stop these operations from taking place. So as a result of this here, lots of us are serving countless years in prison systems without any help. So we're trying to find anybody who's willing to support us to get this information out to our state representatives and, our lawmakers to try to change the laws and reform our criminal justice system down here. Because like I said, it's very hard down here trying to, get a voice. And this is what we're reaching out for. Anybody who's willing to support us in this area. And, with that being said, like I say, I'm, willing to try to do whatever I can down here to be a voice for people down here. And, we need some people to support us. So if that's okay with you.
So I asked this question. So if I go to Google and Google corruption in Texas, there's so much gonna come up. There's so many things that come up, and it does not resonate to me to how we can Google and so much come up, and then there's nobody doing anything about it. How can we as people sit and allow things to continue to go on and happen in our backyard, and we just continue to turn a blind eye and turn close our ears to what's being said, what we're hearing, and what we're seeing? I don't understand. How can the government not know that they are messing up and that they're doing wrong? And how can the people that elect these people sit by and continue to allow these people this? Because I googled corruption in Texas, and it came up, and so much stuff come up, and you looking at the stuff that they do. They giving these people slap on the wrist. They slapping their hands, and but then the people done this to, they still sitting in prison and serving time that they shouldn't be serving.
Okay, that you said that's a good thing that you spoke of that, Mrs. Angela. Ma'am, well, I just come to discover a news reporter had went to a police department for me, ma'am, to request for some documents. And when she did, she was surprised to learn that all of the documents in this case were sent to the Texas Attorney General's office, which I had no clue about. And come to find out, it has been the Texas Attorney General here in the state of Texas withholding these documents from public review, which the documents have been falsified and fabricated, and the evidence, and I had no clue about this. So what I end up having to do, ma'am, trying to get an investigation, I have filed $100 million lawsuit against the office of the Texas Attorney General as of right now, because Texas officials are not willing to investigate their own corruption, ma'am. So here's why we need a voice down here. And we have a few people down here trying to be a voice. And one of these individuals is named Mrs. Jessica Dickinson. And she's of the Texas Prison Community Advocacy Group. And they speaks to the representatives here in the state of Texas. And they're trying to find people to support them and to get, help them with these situations. So, like I say, yes, the Texas Attorney General is involved, and so we need a voice for people to stand up, with us and help us, challenge the government. That's what we need.
So oftentimes we hear about the NAACP and other organizations that's supposed to be for civil rights. Have they not taken a interest in what is going on in the state of Texas? Have they also
Well,
turned a blind eye?
Well, you know what, ma'am? Since my incarceration, ma'am, I have reached out to all of these individuals. I have reached out to the NAACP, the American Civil Liberties Union, and I'm talking about every organization here in the state of Texas about this operation. And still have come to find out that these people are not, they say they don't have the resources, they don't have the staff, they don't have the money. And, it's sad because, year after year after year after year, here I am still writing and filing complaints against to the same people. But we not getting, nobody to, help us with these issues. So that's why right now, as of right now, I've been forced to file a $100 million lawsuit against the Texas Attorney General. But I'm by myself now. Okay, and the people that I'm filing with, they are on the sides of the Texas Attorney General, because these are the same individuals who process the investigation into the same operation that I'm filing a complaint about. So I know that they're going to do everything in their power to protect the Texas government, to protect the courthouses, to protect these judges and this corruption here in the state of Texas. So unless we get a voice, ma'am, or a petition going for somebody to help us put pressure on the Texas Attorney General or the Texas lawmakers and them to investigate the corruption here in the state of Texas, nothing's going to happen, ma'am.
Well, I have been sharing your story. Like I say, I ran across Jerome, and that was how I was able to connect with you. But he shared some information through, it's called the Lone Star, the Texas Lone Star, um, part one, two, and three. Well, I've actually ran part one and two inside of the magazine. Part three will be coming out in May's edition, leading up to June 10th, because we're going to be talking about the 13th Amendment and why we should not be celebrating Juneteenth. A lot of people, they celebrate Juneteenth because they think that um, we're actually free, but we will never be totally free until they abolish the 13th Amendment, because the 13th Amendment allowed servitude, slavery, pretty much in open sight, open view. It's just another
Yes,
form of
ma'am. Yes,
slavery. And
ma'am.
I keep telling people,
Yes, ma'am.
as long as we have these incarcerations like that, and then you look at the amount of people that are incarcerated. You look at the amount of brown people incarcerated towards the amount of other people, other races incarcerated, we triple, quadruple, and in some
Yes,
places,
ma'am.
um, 5 times more than the other races. And
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can't tell me that that is normal. You look at House
That's not
Bill
normal.
1020 that is being passed in Mississippi. Not only that, you look at House Bill 999 that's trying to be passed in Florida. And if my brown people don't wake up and realize what is really taking place, they right now they got this Trump stuff going on so that they can disguise everything else that is being done to further push us back when we're supposed to be coming forward and should be coming out of a lot of this stuff that we're experiencing. We're not. You look at House Bill 999 in Florida. If people don't wake up and realize all these all of these sororities, these black sororities are going to be non-existent in the state of Florida. They are right now trying to do away with how they ban the books and ban the different teaching of black history and different things that they've done. They are about to get ready to ban these all black sororities and fraternities. That is on House Bill 999 in the state of
Okay.
Florida, for those that do not know. And then House Bill
Okay.
1020, they segregating the court system in Mississippi. And then they say that this is supposed to help bring racial justice. How is that going to, by you separating the court system, how is that going to bring racial bias and racial justice by being separate? You to me okay for white people to sit on black people's cases, but it's not okay for black people to sit on white people's cases. That's nothing but leading to more segregation and more discrimination and causing more separation amongst the people. And it's
Okay,
sad.
ma'am. Well, that's a good thing that you spoke of that, ma'am, because, like I say, I had no clue, ma'am, that I was a part of an operation. And when I realized I was a part of an operation, I knew that this couldn't have just happened to me. Okay, like I said, I was in two separate all-white jury trials with the doors locked. Okay, and I know that if that happened to me, it had to happen to other people. But you spoke of the exposure of the Texas criminal justice system, and you spoke of exposing the long chamber. Well, the brother Jerome Wilson, he's a very positive influence. You know what I'm talking about. This guy's words are strong because he tells these people in his articles about the differences and recognizing the difference between being incarcerated and slavery. Okay, and he's showing how we got a Texas attorney general down there who was indicted for a crime, and they dismissed his indictment. But here it is, they're indicting everybody else. When here it is, the Texas attorney general's indictment didn't have a memorandum on it. Well, thousands of Texas prison inmates' indictments don't have memorandums on them. So how is it logically possible that he's different from us? So this is what Mr. Jerome is trying to point out, that there's a difference in how they're processing other people as opposed to how they're processing Texas Attorney General.
And not only that,
attention to that.
and not only that, I want to bring attention to the right now case, the Donald Trump case, because if you look at and y'all go and listen to Ted Cruz, who is the one of he's a senator for the state of Texas, and you listen to his podcast and listen to how he's breaking down the different things and telling us what should not have happened to Trump and what should have happened and what should have. But then you think about what he's saying and apply it to what has been done in the state of Texas. So how is it good for? It's not good for the geese, but it's good for the whatever, the gondo, whatever they call it. How can it not be? It be good for Trump, but not be good for our black people. So now you telling me, so if Trump can get away with this, and this cannot happen because he's Trump, then okay, then why don't we go back and look at all these other cases that y'all have done this to? The same thing that y'all saying should not be done to Trump, that y'all have done to our black people that are incarcerated right now in the state of Texas. We have political prisoners right here in the United States, and ain't nobody doing nothing about it. Like, we need to stop being silent. It may not be happening to your family member right now, but who's to say? Who's to say you may not be next? Because these people they don't care. They've already said if you come to Texas, you better come to Texas correct, because if you come and you make a mistake, you lost. You done. They throwing away, especially if you're black. They throwing away, they locking you up and throwing away the key. They're gonna throw the book at you. They're gonna try to give you the highest and the longest time that they can give you. But other people, they will give you a slap on the wrist and send you on about your way. That has to stop. It needs to stop now.
Well, ma'am, the Texas prison community advocates right now are addressing issues about, reforming our criminal justice system. We have a parole board system here that's obligated to the judicial branch of government. Why? Because our Texas governor down here is putting nothing but police officers, judges, and district attorneys on our parole board. But this whole operation is connected to one big joint operation. Like Mr. Ted Cruz, he is no good for nobody. Why? Because Mr. Ted Cruz has a racial mentality. The same way he tried to do the Supreme Court Justice, Mrs. Tundra. He was basically attacking that lady. Okay? And because he was attacking that lady like that, the congressman told him, hey, why are you attacking her? She's done everything she needs to do to be here. But that's the mentality of the representatives we have down here, the racial barriers and stuff that we have down here. So, ma'am, I would like to ask that, people have, support us. So, that's what.
Well, if they grab a copy of the magazine, in the back of the magazine, this one magazine, April's magazine, in the back, yes. In the back of the magazine, yes. In the back of the magazine, there is a the caller has hung up. There's an opportunity for you guys to share. Y'all can contact the local Texas senator as well as the representative and voice your opinion. There's a generic letter that was printed up voicing your opinion. You can contact the senator, who is Ted Cruz, or you can contact the House representative. Her name is Monica De La Cruz. And basically, we're expressing the corruption that's going on in this Texas, and the wrongfully and overly incarcerated individuals that is within the Texas prison system. Something needs to be done about this. And it's not just happening in Texas, it's happening all over the United States. And we got to continue to be a voice. I give a shout out to my co-host over on the WBNN, to Dr. Chinchilla J, because this is something that she touches on every single Sunday. She touches on that and anything that right now she's touching on the voting and the things, the processes and stuff that's taking place in Philadelphia. For those that are in Philadelphia, coming up in May, you're going to have an opportunity to vote. You're going to be able to vote. I think she said there's 10 spots open for judges. If y'all know that the things that are taking place in Pennsylvania and the changes that need to be brought about, if you're in Pennsylvania and you have an opportunity to vote, please go out and vote. And this is what everybody in these small runoffs and these small elections, we need to allow our voice to speak. And these people that we vote into office that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, we need to get them out of office. We need to get them out of there. They need to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, what they said they was going to do. They need to be held accountable. If they're not going to do what they're supposed to be doing and they're supposed to be doing these things, we need to hold them accountable. It's all about accountability. If you say you're going to do something and you do the opposite of what you say, then they need to be gone. We need to get them up out of there. They're not going to do what we need them to do. We need to get them gone. I want to thank those that have tuned in on Blog Talk Radio. I appreciate each and every person that called in. This is Mr. Drum calling back. I'm going to be ending my call on Blog Talk, but I'm going to continue this conversation over here on on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, because it's a conversation that needs to be had. And I'm going to continue this conversation. But I want to thank everyone that tuned in on Blog Talk Radio this morning. I appreciate you guys. I pray that your Monday is blessed beyond what you can see in the natural. Know that the Queen loves you, and I appreciate everything that you guys do for tuning in every Monday morning. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I pray that this Monday is the best Monday of your life. I want you to go out on purpose and be about purpose, y'all. Okay? I love you guys, and I want you to be blessed. Have a great week. And I'll see y'all back here next Monday. Hey, hey, hey.
Okay.
So we are still live on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. My show is over on Blog Talk Radio. It ends at 9:30. But oh no, it dropped the call again. They doing too much. Huh. They doing too much. They said my call was out of my service area. How? And I ain't went nowhere. Y'all told to see how they play with my phone. It say my call was out of the service area, and I ain't even went nowhere. It say my call was out of the service area, honey. Yeah, it dropped it, but he'll call back. They always do that. They always do that, honey. They always messing with me over here because they don't want the truth to be. They don't want the truth to be shared. But every chance I get, I'm gonna be sharing this man's story because he has a story that needs to be heard, and he's not the only one. Every time I talk to someone from that prison, somebody always wants to share their story because there's so many of them that have been wrongfully and overly incarcerated. And then you look at those that are opposite of our race, and you look at the things that they do and the amount of time that they have to do and the things that they constantly are doing. But even if Mr. Drummond don't call back, I will talk to him later on today. I just wanted to take this opportunity to allow him to be able to share a little bit about his story, because I say um, he has a true story that needs to be heard. Because not only did not only did these people not only have they denied him a fair representation, but they even don't try to take this man's life. They even take an attempt on his life. And I want him to talk about that. I want him to talk about how they have pushed him and denied him in the judicial system. You talk about him having a lawyer that put him before two all-white juries. The law tells me that I'm supposed to have a jury of my peers. My peers are not white. So let's talk about that. My peers would not be white. I could see having maybe one or two white people on there, but my peers are not white. My peers are people that's my age and people that look like me. Those will be my peers. But you don't have not one single person that look like me. These people cannot even begin to understand. How can an all-white jury understand anything about me when you not had to walk in none of my shoes? You don't know the trauma that I've endured because of your people. You don't know none of the things that I've had to go through. So how can you be my peers? Mr. Drummond, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to share. Like we on here. My show is over on Blog Talk Radio, but I am still live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I want to continue this conversation because I truly want people to know, what you've had to deal with. This man has been incarcerated for over 30 years. 30 years of his life has been taken from him. He's lost family members. He's not been able to celebrate special milestones in his family's life, and he's lost a lot at the hands of a corrupt government, at the hands of people that were put in place to make the right decision, and they was given charge over our life. But we don't want, we know that they're gonna pay for this eventually, but we want them to pay now. We want these people to pay in the natural, because we know they're gonna pay in the spirit. All that they've done in the dark is gonna come to the light, but we want it to come to light in the natural so they can be held accountable. Accountable. So please, Mr. Drummond, tell us about this process. How did this just continually go on and on? Because you would think that if evidence come forward, that they will let you out. If evidence is produced and evidence come forward and you constantly hearing this, how has this been able to go on for 33 years and you still are behind prison walls?
Okay, ma'am. Well, thank you for asking the question. Well, look, Mrs. Angela, ma'am, what had happened is that I had no idea that this operation belonged to that of Mr. Dr. Vincent J. M. DeMayo. And the world should know who Mr. Dr. DeMayo is. He was the doctor who testified in the Trayvon Martin case, man. He testified in my trial. And this is basically the only way that they would be able to get a conviction on me is through his evidence fiction scandal operation. And my lawyer put me between the two all-white jury trials. Because come to find out, all of the evidence that Mr. DeMayo made up was all falsified documents. Not only that, I knew that all of these years I have been trying to get this investigation. They have put Mr. DeMayo over his own investigation in this situation. He investigated the 1992 Fred S. Zane evidence fiction scandal. But Mr. Fred S. Zane is his serologist. And Mr. Zane exposed Mr. DeMayo in the civil lawsuit against Mr. Jack Warren Davis and said that Dr. DeMayo is running an evidence fiction scandal shop that's helping send innocent people to prison. So when he done that, Mr. DeMayo denied that to a San Antonio Express news reporter. Well, in my situation, I was studying investigating Mr. DeMayo and didn't realize that the Texas Attorney General, not the Texas Attorney General, but yes, the Governor, Mr. P.O.W.E.R, had assigned Mr. DeMayo over the Texas State Forensic Science Commission. But when I filed my complaint against Mr. DeMayo with the Forensic Science Commission, Mr. DeMayo sent all my records to the Thurgood Marshall School of Law and told these people to withhold my documents. So between Mr. DeMayo withholding my documents with the Forensic Science Commission in Texas, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, the Texas Attorney General's office has been holding all of my criminal records from the police department. Well, Mr. DeMayo and them went after me. In 2016, I filed a complaint with the Forensic Science Commission against Mr. DeMayo. And what had happened was that Mr. DeMayo and them went after my life because I went to a hospital and these people filled my body up with clear water. And I had no clue that that's what they had done until after I realized that this water didn't have no bacteria in it. So with that being said, I filed a complaint with the Texas Medical Board against Mr. DeMayo. And my witness was going to be the lady who Mr. DeMayo testified for, which was my prosecutor. But little did I know, they found her dead days before we were set for a hearing. So, I had no clue that Mr. DeMayo and them was a part of that. But once that hit was put out on my life, I knew that this was strange. This was not something that you just wake up and just think that this didn't happen. It's not no coincidence. So with that being said, I know that these people have been protecting Dr. DeMayo in this operation in the Texas government. So as of right now, a news reporter just found out that the Texas Attorney General's office is even involved in this situation. So, like I say, we don't have no voice down here. So now, being by myself like this, all I can do is to keep fighting my case. That's all I can do to try to get somebody to, be a voice for us down here. That's all I can do, man. But yes, an attempt has been nice, man.
So how can people help support what you're doing? What would be a good way to start? How can they help be a voice? How? A lot of my supporters are from all over the world. We have people out of South Carolina. We ready. What can we do? Like I'm working with a young lady out of Louisiana. We're actually getting ready to launch a in project. I'm excited about that. Can't wait to get my hands involved in that. There's a couple different programs and different other individuals that I am connected to that they this is what they do. Pamela J. Hayes, which is one of my I call her my prayer bestie. She's one of my prayer partners. She's one of the hosts on the Crew podcast. She's one of my big sisters. She has a magazine called The Wall. She also has a podcast called The Women of the Wall. So she does a lot in the state of New York for those that are incarcerated and those that have family members incarcerated. Matter of fact, they just had someone part of her group. Her One of the ladies in her group husband just got exonerated. They had another individual that got exonerated. He got paroled. He came home. I want to say he came home around maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas. He came home. I know he's home now, but she does a lot of work. I have some friends down in Texas. So how can we be a voice? Those that like to be a voice, what can we do? Like I ran those letters and I shared those letters with you, but I ran those letters inside of the magazine. So those that pick up the magazine and grab a copy of the magazine, they have generic copies of letters that I have personally submitted to the Senator Cruz and to Representative Monica De La Cruz. Those letters that I read to you and the letter that is running in the magazine. I personally have submitted those letters, and I'm asking those that do come across the magazine to go ahead and submit those same letters. You can go to their website. I included their websites inside the article. You can click on the links. You can go to their websites. You can leave different little stuff. But how can they support?
Okay, ma'am, that's a good question. Well, here's a civil case by McCornell Drummond versus Ken Paxton, which is the Texas Attorney General. And this number is SA 23 Civil 00389. Okay, this is $100 million lawsuit that I just filed against Mr. Paxton, the city of San Antonio, and Bexar County about this evidence fixing scandal, this whole operation. So right now, it's in the Western District of Texas, which is in San Antonio, Texas. And the judge's name is Mr. Orlando Garcia. Now, Mr. Orlando Garcia is the same United States District Court judge who had to issue an order for the investigation into the evidence fixing scandal. But he was doing it to protect the county and the city because he's the one who put Mr. Dalmayo and the district attorney over the investigation. Well, now, this lawsuit is in his hands. So I feel that he's not going to do the right thing. So as of right now, the civil case is pending right now in that courtroom. And this SA 23 Civil 00389. And what I would hope that we can do is to get some state representatives or somebody with a voice who can contact the Texas Attorney General's office and make an inquiry as to how is it logically possible that the Texas Attorney General's office has been withholding from public review all of my trial records and all of my police department records, and knowing that I have been deliberately framed by San Antonio and Bexar County. That's not right. This is not possible that Texas Attorney General is also involved in this operation. I had no clue. But a San Antonio Express news reporter, her name is Mrs. Emily E. And she's right now fearful for her life to even get involved. The lady won't even speak to me now because she's fearful for her life. And I can understand that now because this is very powerful. This operation is a conspiracy that shouldn't be had, but it's affecting all of us down here because this didn't just happen to me. Right now, juveniles that's convicted down here in the state of Texas, they have destroyed all of the juvenile records down here in San Antonio. And now juveniles down here are trying to figure out what can they do to try to get somebody to investigate their case. So now I know that didn't just happen to me. It happened to everybody down here. We're trying to find a boy. But as of right now, I got a $100 million lawsuit pending against the Texas Attorney General about this operation. And we need a voice, man.
So can you give me those numbers again? How we can look up that and inquire about the case?
Yes, ma'am. It's Cornell Jackie versus Ken Paxton, which is the Texas Attorney General. And it's a civil case number. It says SA, which is San Antonio. The number is 23 CD 00389.
And that's 23 C as in cat, B as in boy, 00389.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, yes, ma'am. And you know, these Mr. Because I have to follow 2254, ma'am, on my case after learning that these records were sent to the Office of the Attorney General. And like I say, this was just discovered in 2019 by this news reporter, who was basically an individual who had wrote me just to inquire about my case. And when I told her who I was and situation about my case, she said, well, she would look into it. So she did. But I told her, ma'am, I'm a political prisoner. Well, she thought I was joking. Well, when she went, they told her they didn't have my records, and that my records were sent to the Attorney General's office with permission to withhold from public review. So she was like, had one of her attorneys to go and get the records. But the Attorney General's office didn't release the records until a year and a half later. So when she did get them, she sent them to me. And when I looked at the records, I come to find out I got two identical records, identical the same. One of them is falsified and one of them is not. So I'm trying to figure out how can this be logically possible, that I have documents that were falsified after my conviction. This is not possible. But these are the documents they sent to me to challenge my conviction. And the original documents they sent to the Attorney General's office to withhold. But the ones that the Attorney General has been withholding are the documents showing that I was deliberately framed 2 years before I even went to court. Because in my police report, it got the ballistics man name in the report. The police department say we never released that gun to nobody to be testified. So I'm trying to figure out how can that be possible that you put a ballistics man name in an arrest warrant to arrest me for murder when here it is for a gun that has never been testified. So, ma'am, the issue is that the San Antonio Police Department and the P.O.W.E.R County Medical Examiner's Office has been working in collaboration for years with the district attorney's office to help these people get convictions on us. So now here it is. It has been found out that the Attorney General's office is also connected to this very same operation. And this is what the $100 million lawsuit is for. It's for them to get an investigation, for us to get an investigation. And like I said, I'm by myself, man, so all I can do is keep fighting and trying to get a voice. But that's the case number right there.
Wow, that's crazy, and it's sad that nobody is doing nothing. Nobody is is speaking up and speaking out when it's obvious that these things are happening, and it's not just happening to one person. Like if something is constant to me, then it can't be all these different people. You got to look at the source. You got to look at where it's coming from. Now, if you got 1,000 people telling you that this is happening, then why are you not looking at the 10 or the 15 that's causing it? I don't get it. Like I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and the fact that you guys are losing time with your family. There's no money that can replace the time that you have been taken away from your family, the things that you have endured, because I know what y'all endure. I know how they take things and they use it against you, because I've been on the side where it's crazy. It's crazy how they do this, and then they punish y'all for speaking out. They punish y'all for doing different things.
Well, that's
And
true,
it's
man.
not
Well,
even your
as of right now, they are telling the Texas parole board not to release me, man. Okay. I brought this to the Texas parole board down here, and what had happened was that the individual commissioner who came to see me, his name is Anthony Ramirez. He came to see me and he spoke about my case, and he said, "I got the letter that you had wrote to Mr. Morales, and you was telling Mr. Morales that you was a political prisoner, that you didn't feel that you can get a fair decision out of this region. And because of that, he said, Mr. Drummond, he said, look, we're going to ask for you to go through an 18-month program, helped out already done 28 years. And with that being said, if you make parole, we're going to put you on a monitor for the rest of your life." And when he said that to me, ma'am, I knew that was a racial statement toward me. And I looked at him and I was like, wait a minute, this is not right. You know, that I'm facing a commissioner who's being racial to me. But this is the issue. This is where we at. This, you know, I have no control over what they do, but this is the situation that I'm facing. And now again, here I am facing that same individual. I'm up for parole right now, and I'm waiting on an answer from that same individual. I have been denied parole 2 times already under this individual's control. And now, because the Attorney General's office and them are involved in my case, I know that these people are going to put their thumb on my case to try to keep me from getting out, because now I just filed a $100 million lawsuit against the city, the county, and the Attorney General's office. So right now, I'm hoping that I get parole. But if I don't, I know where it's coming from. So all I can do now is try to find a voice for somebody to listen to what we have to say and to get an investigation into this, because this is not right. I don't have no control over them not, you know, giving me no parole. But all I can do is keep fighting, man.
That's sad. That is so sad. So
Yes,
before
man.
we
That's
leave,
sad.
before we close, I just want you to put a plea out to the people today. What you would like for them to do, how they can help, things that need to be done. Hopefully, somebody will hear this, they will see this, and want to help and want to support. So if you would
Okay,
please
man.
put a plea out.
Well, ma'am, you know what, ma'am? As of right now, we just located these people. Like I say, this is the Texas Prison Community Advocates. And these are the only people right now that I can put my fingers on that I hope that would be willing to, you know, listen to us. And their P.O. Box is P.O. Box 1974. And their address is Alton, Texas, 78358. Alton is Fulton, Texas, 78358. And this lady's name is Jessica Dickerson of the Texas Prison Community Advocates. And I was hoping that if I can get in touch with these individuals and explain, you know, the situation about my situation and what's going on in the Texas criminal justice system, which they already know because they speak to our representatives directly. And they can shed light on these situations, ma'am, and hopefully they will be willing to get involved. But that's their address, ma'am, and right now, hopefully they will be able to get in touch with the state representatives and make an inquiry into this $100 million lawsuit against the Attorney General's office now. But yes, ma'am, that would be something that I would hope that we can do. Get some support behind us to communicate with these individuals and explain to them what's going on down here.
Wow. I tell you, that is a lot. I appreciate you for coming on and sharing with me on this morning. I tell you, you are definitely in our prayers. We call your name out every morning on our prayer list. I am one of the individuals that had the 121 days of prayer. We've been in prayer since February 1st. We usually go in February the 1st, and we usually come out on June 1st or June 2nd, whichever. It depends on if we having a leap year or not. But
Okay.
we have been doing
Well,
this
we
now for three
appreciate you.
years. So every morning, we call your name out, and we call out other individuals' names that's on the prayer list. But there's about 3 or 4 of you guys that have been wrongfully and overly incarcerated, that we are praying for and believing and trusting God is going to move on your behalf. Um, but if people don't know, they can't do nothing about it. So I'm making as much noise as I can make on my end to bring awareness to what is going on behind prison walls. I'm sharing it in my magazine. I'm sharing it every opportunity I get in my reels, and every opportunity I get to on my platforms to share. I will be sharing because it's sad, and I can no longer sit by and just watch it happen. You know, I have to be a part of the change that I want to see in this world. And we can't continue to sit by and allow this to happen to our brown people, because it's this not something that's just started happening. It's been happening. And people just been turning a blind eye and a deaf ear to it. But it's time out for all that. It's time that we stand for what we say we stand for, and speak up and speak out. We have to be the change that we want to see in this world, or there's no change going to come about. We can talk all day, but if we're not going to be that action behind that talk, it ain't even worth it. You're just wasting energy, energy that can be devoted to something else. And I don't have energy to waste. So I got to be
Well,
about it.
we appreciate you, man. We, believe us. You're a positive force for us, and we appreciate you for everything you do, man. And, you can believe one thing. We keep y'all in our prayers, too, because, we need voices like yours, man. We know we have other people with platforms and stuff like this, Mrs. Angela. But, God working time. But you know what? God he's on time. And I appreciate you that I met you, man, that I'm having this opportunity today to get my story out, because other than that, man, I'd still be struggling trying to figure out how to find a voice. So we appreciate you, man, for being the voice that we need, because what you do is very powerful. And like you said, there's power in numbers. It is power in numbers. So we hope and pray that we can get some people to support us down here, and to get with our state representatives down here, to get with our Texas governors down here, and to get with anybody down here that has the power to change things. That's what we're asking for. And we appreciate you, man, for keeping us in your prayer, man.
Well, amen. Well, I thank you for stopping by again. And I want to thank those that have been tuned in on this morning. Thank you for staying a little extra with me on today, y'all. I appreciate it. I just wanted to be able to be a voice, be able to allow Mr. Drummond to share his story, because I tell you, his story is powerful. And I tell you, when once his case is resolved, it's going to resolve a lot of wrongfully and wrongfully incarcerated, because it's got a lot of people free, and that's what they're afraid of, and that's what they're trying to stop. But I'm telling you, what's done in the dark always come to the light. Trust and believe. And I'm telling you, he got some prayer warriors over here praying, and I know God has heard our prayers, and he is not going to allow them to go unanswered. So just trust and believe. I got faith that he will see the light of day soon. Now, it's not going to be a long time, but it's going to be soon. It's going to be soon. God has heard your prayers, and he sent your answer. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in on today. I will see you guys back here on next Monday. I pray that your day is blessed beyond what you can see in the natural. Know that you didn't get dropped out of the sky. Know that there's something that you supposed to strategically placed you here. So go be great on purpose, in purpose. I love you guys. I am the queen of collaboration, your certified life coach and publishing coach. I am Angela Thomas Smith. I love you guys. Be blessed.